Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jake from TNJ, and welcome back to the Denver Bears franchise. Now, we are heading into All-Star break this episode, and we have a ton of injuries in our organization. But good news is that after the All-Star break, we will be getting back Keston Hiura, a much-needed bat in the lineup. We have definitely missed him. And I think that's kind of an issue because we are showing that we have no depth behind our power hitters. I mean, Hiura was a guy that got on base at about a 333 clip, but he really provided a much needed power bat in our lineup, which is something that we're searching for. But heading into All-Star break, Garrett Hampson makes his All-Star push, hitting over 300, including this triple right here on a 1-for-4 day. But Hampson has steady been over 300 this season and has definitely surprised people along with Brendan Rodgers. We'll see if he can get a center fielder nod. Now we are 37-56, just ahead of the All-Star break, and a big trade went down, only one that I've seen here. Sandy Alcantara gets traded to the Royals, so it looks like the Royals are making a push for the postseason. So heading into All-Star break, we will start at the AA All-Star level with our AA affiliates, the Yard Goats. Who is an All-Star here at the AA level? Well, Jose Ramirez is, and he is the guy we traded for Buster Posey. I renamed him to a subscriber recruit since it was just a generic player, but he is pretty good. A potential, 65 overall, and he's progressing. Has a lot of saves as well, only one blown save this year. Zion Storm makes the All-Star team, hitting about 273. He will get that leadoff spot. Muhammad Willingham makes it, hitting 300. But the surprise here, who is doing tremendous this year, Eric Pena. Now, we traded for him in season 1, if you remember that Kyle Freeland trade, and he's actually a really good fielder. He's progressing all around as a hitter, and he is having the best season of his minor league career so far. Hitting 371, that is just ridiculous. So Zion Storm starts out this game with a chopper to short. That one will be an error, but at least Storm gets on base. On to the top of the third inning. He is 0 for 1 now after that error. Here's a hit to right field. This one's got carry, and it will get down. Zion Storm with 88 speed will easily make it into second with a stand-up double. Good play by the center fielder there, cutting off the ball. That could have been a triple. Here's Muhammad Willingham to the plate here in the fifth. 0 for 2 so far. He hits one to the right side, and that one will bounce through and score one. It is now a 5-0 game for the East as we are just dominating here as Muhammad Willingham has his first hit of the game. So can Eric Pena get going as well? Here's a ground ball thrown onto second, and that one will be an out. And Eric Pena 0 for 3 so far in this game. Zion Storm back up to the plate now, 1 for 2 so far, hits one to the right side. That one will get down, make it a multi-hit game for Zion Storm here in the All-Star game, as he is looking good so far. We move on to the ninth inning. Here is Eric Pena at the plate. He turns on one deep to right field, giving chases the right fielder, but he will run it down. No hits for Pena in this game. 9-3 for the East All-Stars. Zion Storm gets one more crack at the plate, 2 for 4 in this game. Runners on the move, 3-2 count. He crushes one deep to left field. There's a short fence there. It's gone. Zion Storm, it hits another home run, 372. How about Storm? You know, he was a guy that we started out in season 1 at single A. We let him cook in single A, then played his first full season last year in double A, and this year he's hitting 273, a great improvement for him. He is going to be competing for that future at second base. I have no idea who's going to play there. We have a lot of guys who can play second base in our organization right now. Brian Aracchio is one. Also Zion Storm. Brendan Rodgers is having a good season at MLB level, but who knows, because everybody else's attributes are catching up with his. So here is Ramirez late in the game now. He strikes out a batter here with 2 outs. Let's see if he can get this last out of the inning, and he does not. That one is crushed to left field off of that short wall, but it will be a double here, up 12-3. you really have nothing to worry about. Jose Ramirez should get out of this jam, as that brings up Blake Rutherford to the plate, and he will watch the inside fastball, 93 mile an hour. Probably want to get some more velocity on that fastball, but it's okay. Painting the corner there, and it ends up being a victory for our All-Star team. And Zion Storm gets player of the game here, going 3 for 5 in this game with a double, 3 RBIs, and also scoring 3 times. You know, he's hit leadoff this year at the AA level. If he can continue to hit well, he's going to be a pretty good candidate for leadoff hitters in the future. Now, one thing I've always done, but I've never put on camera, is every All-Star game, I always give the All-Star MVP a boost in every single statistical category, just to kind of, you know, mimic real life. I mean, if you're winning the MVP, you're doing something right, you're progressing. So I will do that for the Zion Storm. I'll do it for the AAA level and the MLB level as well. So we move on to the AAA All-Star game, where we have Mike Salucci, who makes the All-Star team. Now, he's an important piece because he is one of our few pitching prospects who is a lefty and is actually pretty good. The issue with him is that he's 27 years old. He's not a young pitcher. We don't really have too many pitchers that are left-handed in the organization as it is. So he's a very important piece. Even though he's 27, I still want to develop him and see what I got out of him. Now, surprisingly, we do have one more All-Star, which is Noah Sayer as a closing pitcher, but no hitters. Absolutely none. So we just have 2 players here at the All-Star level, at the AAA level, and Mike Salucci is the first. He will come in relief. And just looking at the season that he's having, pretty good though. But like I said, 27 years old. I'm going to need a young pitching prospect. I don't know how I'm going to get it. It's probably going to be through the draft, but we'll have to see. Now, with that number 2 overall pick that we had this season, I was hoping to get the pitcher that the Pirates got, but they ended up selecting him before we did. So let's see what Salucci does here in the All-Star game. Now, he is a very good pitcher because he's very, I guess he has good command. And that's the thing with him, is that I love that command, but we'll see. Like, is he going to make the MLB level soon? I'm not sure. So Mike Salucci now, with 2 outs, gets a batter to pop up behind home plate. And that one will be the 3rd out of the inning. Salucci looked good in his first inning, in his 1 inning, I should say. Noah Sayer on the mound now in the 8th inning, one of our good closing prospects. He gets hit off of the wall this time, all the way to left center. Run around second, but will stay at 2. Now, Noah Sayer is in the low 70s overall. He's C potential as well. So you got to think that, you know, he's had 3 years to really develop here in the minor league system. And I think he's going to be ready probably next season for the MLB. So he strikes out 1 batter, brings up the next batter. That is going to be Williams, who pops up to center field. It should hold the runner at second, and it does. A nice, easy throw to third. And now it brings up Jack Larson, the 3-hitter. Just grounds back up to Sayer, snagging it. And that one will be the game here at the AAA level. We only highlight our All-Stars. We won't highlight everybody. But we do end up getting the win here. So both of our teams win the All-Star game, as the West All-Stars beat the East 3-2. Tommy Pham does get that player of the game MVP, and we will give him the attribute boost. So we have our first ever All-Star MVP in this series, so that's pretty cool with Zion Storm. But now we move to the MLB level, where we will play at PNC Park. And here is the NL and AL All-Star starters. Now, looking at both teams, I don't really see any surprises here. But looking at our division, Fernando Tatis makes it. Cody Bellinger also makes it. And Will Smith makes it for the Dodgers at catcher. And we don't have any All-Star starters in this game. Dwayne Killian makes it from the Giants. So that was their number 1 pick in season 1. He's already at the MLB level. And I don't see anybody here that made it in our pitching staff. But I look down here and I see Jose Iglesias makes the All-Star game. I'm surprised by this for sure. I don't know if this is a popularity thing or what, but he made it last year. But he's only hitting .266, this year. 321 on base percentage. I mean, that's pretty good. But to me, this isn't an all-star campaign for him. I mean, he had a good year last year, but definitely not doing it this year. Benito Osuna makes it. And the reason why this is significant because he was picked #1 overall in the Rule 5 draft, and he turns into an all-star. But the biggest all-star snub for us is Garrett Hampson. Hit 301, 352 on base percentage. And I'm very disappointed that he did not make it. I thought that he was going to be a sure thing for the All-Star game. Brendan Rodgers had a good year. I wasn't sure he was going to make it anyway, just because, like I said, he's had a couple of down years, then hit 288. And I don't think he's doing anything flashy, but I thought that Hampson could have made it, hitting over 300. So Jose Iglesias comes up for 2 at-bats here at the MLB level. We'll see what he can do here in the bottom of the 7th. We only highlight our guys. And here he gets a pitch on the outside part, and he goes with it. It's an outside slider. That one will be a hit to right field. And Iglesias gives the Denver Bears a good name here at the MLB level, getting a hit there. And our only all-star nod in the last 2 years has been Jose Iglesias. That brings him up once again here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now with runners on first and second, he fouls the first pitch off, bringing it to a 3-2 counts, 2 outs. The runners will be on the move. This is a hanger, and he hits it hard to the right center gap. That one should score 2, and it will here, bringing the lead 10-6 as Iglesias 2 for 2 in the All-Star game. There we go. And Iglesias has been coming around. I think, I wouldn't be as shocked at this MLB All-Star nod if he would have started out better than he did, but he's only hitting 266. I mean, that's not a great average. He started out the year hitting in the low 200s. He's got that average up, which I'm glad about. And Juan Soto ends up winning the MVP as if he needed more of a boost here, but he will get it, and that's how I will treat it. Every All-Star game MVP gets a +1 in everything. And Juan Soto, one of the best players in baseball. This is going to land him at about 98 overall. Only puts him up 1 attribute overall. But from 97 to 98, he is dominant. So I go to the trade log before the trade deadline and just evaluate these trades. And I highlight that Benito Osuna has been traded from the Pirates for James Bistrecki Jr., one of our subscriber prospects. Now, he's pretty good. He's 20 years old, 75 overall, B potential. But why would the Pirates make this trade? Because they found and discovered a Rule 5 draft player at 23 years old. Look at the progression he still has, hitting 290 in an All-Star, but they trade him. I am shocked by that, and I can't believe they made that trade. So the Pirates right now are still the worst team in baseball for the 3rd consecutive season in this dynasty, in this franchise, I should say. And we are still at the bottom of the NL. But I think we should get better with the return of Keston Hiura. I think that he's going to be a huge bat for us. And I don't think we were looking to compete this year, but I'm definitely going to be looking to make a nice run here in the second half of the season for sure. I do not want to get to 90 losses. I want that to be a goal. We need to go with less than 90 losses, and I want to see if I can get there with this Denver Bears team. So here's Keston Hiura in his return, facing Jacob deGrom on the road at Citi Field. Let's see what he does in his return. Here's his first pitch inside, and that one will be knocked for a base hit. Keston Hiura, a bat we've been missing. And we already got Jake deGrom 2-0 here in the 3rd inning. That's going to bring up Jose Iglesias to the plate with guys on the corners. The All-Star hits one hard to left side. That one's got carry. It's gone. Jose Iglesias is just an interesting player, man. I mean, he was a guy that was not getting any offers when we picked him up in free agency 2 seasons ago. And now this guy is hitting excellent. 266 coming off of the All-Star break. And I think that now he's starting to find his groove. Here is Hiura at the plate here in his 3rd at-bat, 1 for 2 so far. And he walks, getting on base, something we've been missing. Just a guy that can get on base. Just set us up with guys in scoring position. So here he is, 2 for 3 so far in this game now. On to the 9th inning, hits one hard to left side, make it 3 for 4. In his return, Keston Hiura goes 3 for 4 and a walk. And we are going to be on the road with a 6-1 lead versus the New York Mets there as he came up to the plate. But now it's 8-6 here in the 9th inning. Here's a base hit up the middle. And look at this. We are in trouble. Carlos Estevez on the mound, throwing to the plate, but it's cut off. But look at the runner trying to get to second. And that's how this game will end. 8-7. The Mets almost come all the way back. We almost blow that win. But Jose Iglesias 3 for 5. And how about Keston Hiura in his return? He goes 3 for 4. 2 home runs from Iglesias as well. It looks like his bat is starting to really heat up. So going into the trade deadline special here next episode, I floated it around. It's been a couple of episodes I've talked about it, but Gary Sanchez is the first on the trading block, and I just don't think it's going to work out. Now, what I'm going to do is probably trade him to a team that wanted to sign him in the offseason, because looking at a 30-year-old catcher who's hitting below 200, realistically, you're not going to get a lot for him. So you really got to trade him to a team that really, really wants him. So I'm going to trade him to a team that wanted him in free agency last year. I'll have to take a look at who did want him. Now, German Marquez could be on the block. He's on the last year of his deal. He's been a lifelong Rocky/Bear. And he is probably up next who could be traded. Who knows? Rafael Marchand is our next catcher up after Gary Sanchez. But we need another catcher to probably supplant him for at least one more year. And then Brian Rocchio or Ryan Vilade. I think that one of those two need to step up in the minor leagues. I don't know which one it's going to be, because Rocchio has been hitting below 200 and Vilade is still developing. He's hitting pretty well at 260, 270. But right now, I just don't know. I look at a couple of guys on the trade block I really like. I like Tristan McKenzie. I like CJ Abrams, who I floated around last episode. And some other guys who are there are very interesting. But now we head to the end of the month of July, and we have some very tough matchups. We play New York. We got to finish this series here. We have 3 games on the road, and then we have 9 straight road games here to end the month. I mean, this is going to be a tough month here, as we play Washington to end the month, Philly as well. I don't know how this is going to end, but I'm hoping that we can just get a couple of wins here. After that 8-7 victory, I'm kind of at a low point here, because I'm like, man, if we let them come all the way back in that game and barely won by 1, what's going to happen versus Philly on the road and Washington on the road? We'll have to see. So that's going to do it here as we head into the trade deadline special. Next episode, I can't wait to make some moves, hopefully get better for the future. That's what we're probably planning for. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I hope the rain don't come in November, 'cause the summer went way too fast. I'm trying real hard to remember all of the good times and memories we had.